so early for us. This is okay. To be fair, I did say that, oh wow, this is going to be really early for me. I recognize that it is 10 a.m. my time.
And I recognize that too, but I also recognize your sleep schedule. So I have
Thank
compassion for
you.
that.
Deeply appreciate it. You truly the soldier of this conversation. 5
Well,
a.m.
I mean, to put my alarm at 4:15 felt sinister, but also right. Like I
Mm.
am kind of a naturally morning person, and I'm so sorry. I'm one of those people where I'm like, I do feel better about myself if I get up earlier. It's just something, especially now because I really value a good afternoon nap. So I'm like, oh, I'll get up early so that then I can just crash, just crash out from like
Ooh.
1 to 3.
Hey, son.
Hey, son. Good
Listen,
afternoon, good
I,
morning, good evening.
yes, one of those. Probably good evening. Probably.
Let us know in the chat. Let us know in the chat. What's your time zone?
Um, so, what am I saying? Yeah, hello.
Yes. Hello.
So today, here's
Oh,
what the game plan is. Once again, obviously, consistently open to questions, questions, comments, concerns, talking points. Ooh, 11 p.m. Yes, night owl. Um, we are going to be talking about Stacy's interview. Oh, it's no chase.
hey,
Okay,
okay.
we've got across the
Whole Pacific
timelines
time zone. Yeah,
in the Americas.
I love it.
Um, we're going to be talking about some of the points from Stacy's interview. If you have not seen Stacy's interview, don't worry about it. It's linked below. It's also on the Black Babes Abroad playlist in under my YouTube channel. 5
Family.
a.m.
I see you, Lee. Good morning.
Oh my
Come
gosh, we've got
on.
some dedicated babes. Deeply appreciate it, guys. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that we remember and resonated deeply with from Stacy's interview because Stacy moved from the US to Sweden and she talked about her moving process. She talked about organizational tips. She talked about a lot of things. Um,
Shayna's like, great, thank you. That's all the excuse I needed. I am a
listen,
morning person. We were just saying, I was like, I am naturally a morning person. So I will be taking the fattest, beautifulest nap later. So don't worry about me. I secretly thrive on this.
I
Mhm.
will regardless probably be taking a nap. I do also resonate with feeling very, I feel important. I feel self-inflated and I feel like I'm ready for business when I wake up early. The problem is waking up early. Like when I was younger, this is like mildly travel related, and then we're gonna dive back in. But when I was younger, whenever I would wake up early outside of school, it was always because we were going on a trip or we were going on an
Yes.
adventure. Yeah.
Yes,
So
exactly.
that is the thing that makes me go, oh my God, I'm up early. Something exciting must be happening today.
That's
But
so,
it's adulthood.
I never thought about it that way, but I was always, and it was like, because I was traveling, I was doing like sports competitions or going somewhere, like, so there is an excitement about it, but then I hate that I barely sleep because the whole time I was like, I can't miss this alarm. I can't miss this alarm. And I have a
Yeah.
sneaky habit of like my alarm was set to like 4:15. I woke up at like 4:14. I was like, perfect. Let me just shut that off so I don't have to wake up the whole household. So, like,
Yeah.
I mean, she talks with her hands, and by she I mean me, and also Shayna. So welcome.
Yeah, I can't
What
say
else
that's
did you have?
necessarily sign language. So
Yeah,
yeah,
also
we're
that.
going to be talking about key points from Stacey's interview. If there are things that you guys, if those of you who have seen the interview and there's things that you would like to further discuss, definitely hop on. Happy to talk, or like share more thoughts on those things. And doing research for your last live, there are
Mm.
opportunities from yes, by in droves. And I don't know about you guys, but I have definitely been seeing a dramatic uptick on my For You page, on especially on TikTok, of Black Americans being like, you know what? I think I should take moving abroad seriously. I think I should
Yeah.
actually look into this. It's been it's been very it's been I have mixed emotions about it because I'm very scared for the family,
Yeah,
both
yeah,
related and not related, that are in the States that are having this like big aha moment. But I've also been seeing a lot of people, and for those of you that have been like a part of this community for a while, I've been talking about the need to get your passports since we saw what was going to be happening since November. Um, Arguably, probably a little bit before, but I've like definitely like wove it in bulk into my content since November. So the people that are now like, oh my gosh, I really need to get my passport, but things are just like, oh no, babes. Oh no, babes. It's
yeah.
still possible. Still possible. It's just going to be a lot more work now.
Yeah. It's also just one of those things where it's not, and Stacy mentions this, and it really did, like, I'm glad that she put a stress on it, is like, we want to give you all the resources and empower y'all and give you the education and all of the help we can. And this shit is not easy. It's not inherently easy to consciously, intentionally move your life abroad. It's not easy. However, it's absolutely possible. And there's a lot of beautiful opportunities that can come from that. But I don't want to, and I know Shayna does not want to like mystify and be like, oh, it's gonna be the easiest thing. So like if you're already, and this is the mindset part, is like if you're already applying a lot of barriers to getting your passport, for example, for these people, it's like it's not gonna get easier. Then you're gonna have to get your visa, and then you're gonna have to research, and then you're gonna have to, find your community when you get there. So there's always going to be something that's a little tough about the process of moving abroad. So you might as well just start now, right? It's kind
Mhm.
of, and I've had the same with friends who are like, oh my gosh, like I'm seriously now looking. I'm like, now you're serious in the best way. It's like, of course, everybody finds their own time, but I'm like, when they have the things like, oh, I have to get the passport, and oh, where do I? I'm like, okay, well, here's actual guidelines to start. So start, because we things are moving rapidly where it's like the best time to start is yesterday, at least
Yeah.
taking like the next steps. If it's looking at a place, if it's again first step, applying and getting your passport first thing, right? Doing the things you need to do already, if it's one thing a day, to like start making that movement.
And this is a partially formed thought, partially because I recognize. So, to answer somebody's question, is 10 a.m. over here? I am not a morning person. So, my brain is still turning on. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, folks. I know. But so this is a partially formed thought that I will be figuring out in real time. So something that came up in conversations under some other videos that I have made this past week were about the people that can't leave, whether that is because uh, some people feel like they can't leave or they tried and it didn't work. For some people, there's a lot of they have family, they have elder relatives, they have people that they care about that are in positions where they can't leave the US right now. And they're like, okay, well, what do I do then? Um, and I have a video that's going to be coming out like on my channel either like today or tomorrow about this, but there's something in that that I didn't realize until you were talking, Candace. There is, regardless of if you want to stay or if you want to go, both of these things need to be handled with the mindset of long term. There's a lot of people that move abroad that think, oh, okay, like this is going to be super easy. This is going to be, uh, I could just go and maybe I'll be there for, especially if you're moving as a reaction to what's happening in the United States, which, like, listen, no heat, no judgment. I saw what was happening in the US, and that's why I said I'm going to get out of here, get up out of
Yeah.
here. But when I was when I was thinking about moving abroad, it wasn't, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go until things get better. I was like, I am going to. Oh, you know what? Oh, so if anybody would like to be a moderator, please
Oh yeah, I
hop
already blocked.
on. Oh, okay. Oh no, Bert's still talking. So we're just going to. Uh, great. Okay.
You're on.
So
I love that. You're on. It's like,
yeah.
what else?
Um,
Yeah. Yes, son.
Son, because you're an OG, yay! I was literally about to ask if you
Thank
wanted to be a
you.
mod.
Thank you,
Add as
son.
moderator. Do, do, do.
And also to go back while we have some time, the best Scandinavian breakfast food, thank you so much for asking, is a bolle med smør og ost, or just like a morning bun
Done.
with like really nice whipped butter, like salted whipped butter, like a fresh bun, and maybe a nice, like, not the stinkiest, but like a really good, like strong cheese on top. Thank you. That was my answer.
No, you're great. You're great. So when it comes to like long-term moves abroad, because there's a lot of people that move as a reaction to things, thinking, oh well, I'll just be here for I'll just be here for a hot second. I'll be here until things change back home. But that does not put you in a position to actually be successful in moving abroad, because you will be moving with the mindset of, oh, okay, well, you already have a timeline in your head of, oh, okay, well, I just need to have enough resources, or I just need to have enough mental space, or I don't really need to make long-term community or friends, or for
Hmm.
6 months,
Hmm.
a year, maybe.
Hmm.
But if you're moving abroad, in the same way, like if you're planning on staying in the United States, there are certain structures, there are certain things, there are certain mentalities that you have to have of really like buckling in, diving down, saying, you know what, this is a commitment that I'm going to be making. Which,
Hmm.
like, bringing it back to Stacy, when Stacy made her intense spreadsheet, she was like, I need to make sure that I have all of the things that I need for long term success,
Living
not
for
just
me and
from,
my family.
yes, regardless of what happens in the United States, I need to make sure that where I'm going to is secure. Yes, I think that was my full thought.
No, that's absolutely true. And I was just talking to a new contact here, also an international in Denmark. And we were just talking about kind of like sometimes the trap of the international community just staying within just in the comfort of the international community. And we were just talking about it as far as like having nice job resources and just networking, because then it ends up being like the internationals are almost like competing for the same international, jobs or opportunities or connections and stuff. And it becomes like a very small place, which is really cozy, but they don't venture out as much. And I think that is the space that you start at, right? When you come here for university, let's say if you travel, or even if you're just coming, like moving abroad and you find your community, of course, like latch onto the internationals that, of course, you drive with. But there is, again, a sense of like, oh no, I am going to live here. So I'm not just going to hang out just around the internationals and just do like the free international community. Like I also want to get into the Danish network. I also want to learn more Danish. I also want to have Danish friends and community. So I think there is a part where and yes, you need to think long term, but also at least be open to expanding your experience in the new place. Because I can't say that I immediately came here. I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to be here for a while. My life, I still don't know. But I think you have to have the space of more than just a year, more than just like a romp around, the sun, because you will, to Shayna's point, go in intentionally and like, okay, let me put myself out there. Let me like get into the community here rather than just be what one TikTok creator called it, like a glorified tourist. Where some of the like she was talking about some of the travel content and travel writers and stuff. Not you, Shayna, of course, not never you. You're perfect. Um, but how like the expat lifestyle where they're like, oh, I live here and I live here. It's like, well, you're not living there. You're just like a tourist. You're just a tourist for a long sense of time. If you're not in the community, if you're not giving back to that community, if you're not learning the language, like that's just tourism. And that's okay. But what we are focusing on, this community is focusing on, is more intentional living abroad. And maybe it's not in just one place too. Like we hope to give you the skills that you will be able to take a move abroad and then possibly do another move abroad from that. So it's also knowing not to put too much pressure on having the perfect place, the first one. You will have the skills to be able to maybe, pick up your life and do it again. But it is important to know what your needs are and what the quality of life you're looking for, because that will help you kind of cultivate that list.
Also, speaking on that, I just want to point out something that Lee said. Shayna, FYI, you look so much happier than when you were in Spain, like night and day, sis. At and when we're talking about the importance of being able to be settled and secure internally and externally, so that way you can know and have the resources available, research wise, material wise, whatever, to pivot if your initial move was like, oh, I thought I did my research, I made everything, like I tried my best to make this work. It's
Mhm.
not working.
Yeah.
I need to pivot. How do I pivot? Where do I, like, yes, wrote an article about that. Yes, we talk about this also on here, but it really does feel like night and day. When you find somewhere that you want to be able to, and like, listen, my personal ideal situation would have been I made my first move abroad. I really resonated with that place. It felt like home. I applied for a longer visa. I got it. The place felt more like home. I applied for residency. Boom, I got residency. And then I don't have to worry about, but that's not always the case.
Yeah.
So I made sure to have enough things in order and to know myself and my needs and the realities of what I would be able to do enough. So that way I was like, okay, these are the places that this is what I need. These are the places that are available to me. Let's release the shoulders, Shayna. Let's see what's available to us. And then found somewhere that makes me very happy. It's very gray outside today right now, though. It is still technically the rainy season, so but still,
Yeah.
this country makes me very, very happy. Everybody, it, it, Thailand's energy makes me very, very happy. And I will be, oh, okay, so this is a complete side note, but so my birthday is coming up in October, and I will be making my first national trip, like my first domestic trip in Thailand around that time for my birthday. And I'm very excited.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
After you have to
Um,
show the pictures because it's probably going to be
yes.
gorgeous.
I still need to show pictures from Kenya.
Gorgeous.
Anyway, that is besides the point. If you want to get residency, second passport. Second passports, there are some passports that more attainable to get. There's not. I would love a second passport. There's nothing that I want more than to get rid of this U.S. passport. But that's just
I, I'm still sitting in it. I'm honestly still sitting in it because I can get my residency at this point. And I believe at this point, literally today, I can have two. I can have the two passports, but it could change tomorrow that I would have to relinquish my US passport.
Mhm.
So I'm still figuring it out. But oh my gosh, I'm jealous of my daughter because she already has both. Actually, we technically have to get her US one, which I'm like, do you want to? But yeah,
Honestly,
the
I would
strength.
hold off on that for a while.
She has she has I think she has until I give mine up. That's the thing. So we have to get hers before because she can claim my US one while I have my US passport. So as
Okay.
long as I
Okay.
have it, she could take it. But if I'm like, then she can get her US. But she got her I'm December 4th, baby.
I am October 19th. So we have a Sag and we have a Libra on here. But if we're talking astrology,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Sagittarius, North Node, and Venus. So
And I'm more
don't worry about
Capricorn.
it.
I'm more Capricorn in water than you think.
Yep, it is.
So
Don't
yeah,
give.
the
There's a lot
passports, I think you're
happening.
saying.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't. The thing, okay, and this is going back into like moving abroad stuff a little bit. One of the things that, yes, like right now, the U.S. passport comes with a lot of power. There are quote unquote powerful passports or passports that, oh, welcome to the party. So there are a lot of passports that passports are considered quote unquote powerful and weaker. I don't really like
Yeah,
those
I hate that.
phrasings
I
of it,
hate that
but
term.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
skeevy, but there are passports that allow you more abilities to go to other countries with less visa restrictions, or without even having to apply for visas, as opposed to other countries where there's a lot more restrictions. It's more expensive to travel. All of that. Right now, the U.S. is technically a stronger passport, but that could change at any point. The thing that I really want people to understand, though, is when you move abroad, the US, as of right now, is, I think, it's either the only country or one of two countries that force citizens, regardless of if you are in residence in the United States, even if you can prove that you were in residence outside of the United States, you still have to pay US taxes. Now, there are a lot of visa, it's really annoying. There are a
Yeah.
lot of visa options for where other countries realize the double taxation that US citizens would be doing in their countries. So certain visas have more flexibility or leniencies built in tax wise for US citizens to stay there long term. But regardless, the double tax, like going back to Spain, for example, the friends that I had in Spain that were there on the like Spain's digital nomad visa, the double taxation and Spanish taxes tend to be like higher. And then it's even higher for people who are digital nomads and have the digital nomad
Oh,
visa.
sure.
So, like tax wise, the US citizens that I knew back in Spain were going through it. Um, but yeah, so that's one reason why I'm really excited to get rid of this passport, but also I just don't personally feel like
The
I want to be a
taxes. Do you still okay,
yeah.
I'm not gonna get into tax talk because I'm gonna get myself in trouble. But I'm just annoyed that I have to pay to file the taxes that say I don't owe anything. That's what I'm upset about. Because I still have to end up paying like $50 to be like TurboTax. See, I pay pretty high taxes in Denmark. I mean, Scandinavia is known for probably having like the highest taxes, but I'm like, baby, my healthcare's there, the bus is running, and free water. So I'm fine. I'm good with that. Also, I just need to shout out Gwen, also a Cancer moon. So how are you? How are you at any point, truly? And how are you in the beginning of this eclipse season? Because my God, um, is it
Ooh,
prohibitively expensive
Aquarius
to
sun.
relinquish your US? I actually don't know how Yeah, that's why I'm just
It's
waiting
no,
on it. I'm waiting on it.
yeah,
I don't think you have to pay to give up. I mean, technically for me, it's expensive to get the new one, but still not even as expensive. It's more time expensive and whatever to get like my permanent residency. Now I could claim it because I've been here for 8 years, and it's about like a little bit over $1,000. And then I have to just like prove I've done a few amount of things. So that I've worked at least for 4 years, that I've lived here for a certain amount of time, that I've passed this level of Danish, and I feel like there's like a few stipulations, and you can choose like two of them once you've been here for 8 years. You can actually get it after 4 years if you fit all four or five of those like criteria.
mm,
So I'm in it, but I'm EU has this new visa. I think I've mentioned it before. They just dropped it again. Things happen quickly. They just dropped it like EU wide, that if you are a parent of an EU citizen and you not getting your passport would mean that that EU citizen would have to move out of the country, then you can get a passport, or you can get like basically a visa based on
wow.
that. So that's what I'm applying for at the end of the year.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
daughter.
Mm.
There we
I
go.
have a feeling that we should probably at some point make like a folder on Substack dedicated to like new visa things that we figure out, because
Yeah,
there's
I know,
always
because
like new
there's
breaking
always new
news
stuff.
in the world of visas.
Yeah. I think let's have a folder, and let's also, while we have it, maybe we just start a thread on Substack, like a chat thread that's like visas, and we could just like add stuff to that. Um, but yeah, oh,
But
to
like would
relinquish
people,
the
and let
US,
us
that's
know in the chat,
interesting.
like would people check, like if we had a specific chat just dedicated to visas and we are only updating that chat when it comes to new visas, would people like can people, will people be
Do you
checking
like
that?
that?
Will people, yes. Is that a thing that you would use? Like my brain would go, oh my gosh, that's the place where I would live. But I know that that's just me.
Yeah, let
Um,
us know. We want to help.
my
Mhm.
friend and I was spending thousands of dollars. So, oh, you know what? I will check that. I will check how much it is to. Will I do that right now? No, my ADHD definitely would not allow me to do that. Yes, and listen,
Like, I'm
handy
gonna do
dandy's right over
nothing.
there.
Yes. Yeah, McQueen, I mean, that's the thing is I think these skills and like we were saying at the top of the show, um, I think it's just good to be ready. Anybody, I think it's just good to be ready. And Stacy again talks about this where she knew for a while that they were like looking to move abroad. And one of the things that they started doing pretty early, she was saying, is like cleaning out their things, right? Like doing the little bits of preparing. So if you need to make a quick move, or still, a slow, thoughtful move, but like if you need to make a quick move, you're not saddled with like the annoying but kind of easy stuff of like start clearing out your space, start Marie Kondoing, start doing a little autumn cleaning and just clear out stuff because you won't. That's also, again, mentally and physically a way to just prep and be like, okay, I'm ready to let go of some of these things that no longer serve me. I'm ready to let go and kind of shed the weight of things. And I think that's just a good practice in general. But like we were saying, to our friends that might not be ready or getting in the mindset, it's like, knowing how to be flexible and nimble and practicing that is, I think, going to be helpful for all of us, whether you're staying in the States, whether you're moving abroad, like having that mindset of like, okay, I know how to take care of me. I know what I can control and I know how to pivot if I need to. Um, so passing on any
So
resources is going to be helpful.
along with this, we also have another, there's a lot that we're
Mhm.
doing behind the scenes right now.
Yes, so
So we are working on making an article to talk about the 5 things that Shayna, and the 5 things that Candace are like, you need to like physically have these things, these things to move abroad. And then the 5 things that
wonderful.
were like, I just like physical, not necessarily internal, but after after those 5 things that you need to have to move abroad, we also have a list of 5 things that a lot of people think they need to physically have to move abroad, but it's just going to be bulk. Like you don't, I, in watching my mother, who is 60, 59. She's one of those two right now, an angel of a woman. And I have been planting seeds within my family for a while to be like, hey, I think that this is getting at, if you can, if you would like to, now is the time to start putting like little seeds in place, at least start thinking about it. My mom has finally been like, you know what, I'm doing it. I'm getting out of here. My mom is also very, how do I say, extreme when it comes to when it's time to let things go. She lets it all go. So my mom is in the place where it is very
Yeah,
much the opposite of a lot of other people, where they're
me.
like, oh, well,
I'm like,
maybe I want to hold on to this. Maybe
burn
like
it,
I could use this later. My mom has gotten rid of all of her sofas. She does not have a plan to move just yet. She got her passport renewed. She made sure that
yay,
all of her stuff is up to date. But
yay,
she's just when it says if it does not spark joy, my mom is like the floor could spark joy.
baby.
I don't
Although the
need
couch would
these so
be the last thing I get rid of. 'Cause where am I crying once a day? Where am I resting? Where am I napping?
where do I woe is me? Where do I watch my soaps? Like
Yeah. Where do I
my
watch my Dimension 20? I mean, how are we doing that?
so I feel like there's a nice in between way for
Quick.
people. Oh, wait,
Sorry,
just so I don't lose my thought. There's a nice
go.
in between way for people to be able to get rid of things systematically
Oh
without
yeah.
getting rid of everything at once. Um, yes, I've been seeing the two extremes of people like getting rid of everything at
Yeah.
once and then the holding on to too much. And I'm like, there's a nice
There's
in
a middle
between
ground.
way. Yeah,
One thing
yeah.
that we did for, I think we just did it like we meant to do it 1 month, but then ended up doing it for a few months, was just like throwing away one thing a day. And you can even put it out to like a week. But me and my partner were like, okay, one thing a day we're finding to throw out. And at first it was just like, oh, this trash that was like already in. Our kids were like, great. We were like, oh, we can throw that away. But we kept doing that for months of just like find one thing and throw it away or recycle it or at least put it in a pile to donate. There's so many, I mean, especially here, there's so many places to donate. There's so many important ways. And again, Stacy chatted to that of like, if it is those things that feel close to your heart, it's like maybe those are stuff that you keep, and or maybe you gift it to a friend or a family member to keep, in the family or keep close to you. Or maybe you show it some gratitude and give it a new home with someone else. So it can be, again, it can be a deeper experience. So give yourself time, but also start moving, as Sun said. Gwen, I just had to laugh about that because,
Gwen, that was amazing.
I mean, I'm a
It
Scorpio
took me a
rising as
second.
well. So I like that dark humor. I love dark humor. And as someone who has a mom who's passed, and I mean, I moved abroad before she had passed, but mostly my biggest stress was like what happens to my family. Like when I leave, if I have to get back, and I've had a few family members pass while I've been here, and it's never been easy. It really feels shit. But I also had to be honest with myself to be like, me being in America would not have prevented them from pass. Like, there's no real connection there, though your mind and your heart wants to be like, what if I was there, blah, blah, blah. But like, there's just that freedom. And honestly, like my mom passing, and that's just its own thing. Like, there is a freedom sometimes of knowing, like, oh, that one fear that I had kind of lingering is no longer viable. And now my mom is also very easily portable, and she's with us every day, by our kitchen table. So it's kind of like it's one of those dark things, but there has been a release of one, of course, if people pass, like it's awful, but it is grounding in some ways. But they're just getting to that mental space of being okay with releasing things that are no longer serving you, and even being okay with releasing things that are just not sparking joy. Because sometimes that's also a gap where you're like, well, it's not like keeping me back, it's not preventing me from doing anything, but it's like, but is it moving you forward? No. Okay. So that's also not helping you, right? Mine's on the shelf in the living
Yeah.
room. Yeah, I know. Big ups.
And when it comes to like things that are not necessarily moving you forward, I like thinking about it in that way also. Not that I thought about it in that way when I was packing, but when you look at your suitcases and then you Google how much it is to get things shipped to you
Oh,
wherever you are in the
yeah.
world, and you really have to be like, ooh, I have 4 suitcases and I'm trying to ship over 6 boxes. That's going to be that might be like $10,000 right there. And those things might not even get to you
Or they'll get
because
there, they're
international shipping.
damaged, which
So you have to be
is,
like, okay, well, how useful, how helpful, how much do I love? How much do I need? Will this actually help me? Or is this a thing that I can get over there? Or a thing that I don't, that I can just release into the universe? When you're looking at $10,000 worth of stuff,
oh, also Gwen,
mom will be in the suitcase, but
well, this is a
everyone else.
technical thing. And I just got to shout it out because I also had to transport my mother from the States to abroad. You might have to have some paperwork with your box if
Oh,
you can
yeah.
carry on. So just keeping that in mind, just very, very specific one. But if you have any paperwork or whatever, you can carry on. So you don't have to check your mom. Um, I mean, I used to check my mom a lot, but in the other way. There was another, I feel like there was something
Also,
circling
I
back.
don't know if I'm frozen on your side, but you're frozen on mine.
Oh no.
Can
Except
I
mine's
can
is
still
frozen
hear you.
until she's
I
put
can
away
still
at the
hear
same
you.
hemisphere. Oh,
Oh,
okay. Am
okay.
I
Yeah,
still
we're
frozen
back.
for
We're back.
anybody else? Okay.
No, we're back now. You're back.
Okay, great. Maybe
But
I'm
yeah,
frozen. Oh
it wouldn't
yes,
surprise
Allie,
me
that's what
like,
it was. Pets can have passports and visas. That's what I was gonna say. We talked about this in the latest article. So Stacy moved with her little pup. We also put some resources. There's both some resources in our bigger visa article, but also Stacy moved with an animal. And I popped in one of the, if you're coming from the States, at least one of the good websites to start at as far as doing the research on your pet breed, how they can travel, the shots they need, the visas, the passports, all of that stuff. So check that one out. Um, the crematory made sure. Yeah. Okay. Great. Great. Yeah. I was like, there. That's one of those technical things when it's like the passing of a parent is fucking hard enough, and then you have to do like, let me close their phone line, let me transport that. I was like, oh my god. Anyway,
mm,
but just important to know. If we don't know if and these are the nitty gritty where it's like if you're bringing the most important things to you, it might be some cremated people. So we
Yeah.
just gotta have it out there. But pest passports are so cute. So, yeah, and again, moving with animals, I have quite a few friends here and other places that moved with animals. It's possible. It's extra work. So that's what we want to give. It's like it's possible. It is going to be extra work, but it does not have to be overwhelming if you do a little bit every day and you just like kind of build that list every day. But
Yes. And I think that we talked about this in the, what is it, in the interview, but just in case, for the countries that you are considering moving to, and this is going to be part of your must-have list, depending on what kind of, not just if you have pets, but what kind of pet you have, more
yeah,
specifically, what breed
yeah,
of pet you have. Different countries allow for different breeds,
yes,
or different countries make it easier for different breeds to move with you abroad. So as you're looking up what kind of countries you're into, look into their pet immigration laws.
hmm
Um, Unfortunately, there are a lot of countries that might feel a way about moving with a little pitty or moving away with a larger dog that might have a stigma against it. True or not does not quite matter, but true, just have a look into pet visas because that might also help to clear some other countries or
yeah.
some other locations away while confirming that others are better for you and your furry and non-furry family.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Stacy, I think the Stacy article, I put it in my reflection, like the takeaway was just the, the more research, the more systematic you can be, as much as you can, it's going to help you down the line. And it's actually going to make decisions easier, right? It can feel so overwhelming to be like, oh my God, there's all these countries. I have 20 countries on my list. Okay. Well, how is, Stacey was great, was like, how is their cost of living? How is there? We also popped in some resources that you can look up the human development index. How's the country like thriving, not just economically, but are there jobs? How's the healthcare? How's the, just general quality of life, the lifespan? Um, can my pets go there? Can dependents go there? What are my visa options? Like it is a lot of those. But once you get into it, that might narrow you down to actually going from 20 to like 4. And sometimes that's also hard for you, like, oh yikes, I really wanted Portugal, but my cat's not allowed there, whatever. But if you follow that flow, it actually makes it easier because then you have less choices. You can go, hit on that. And again, that's what we're talking about is like maybe you make the pivot to go to France first and you're like, oh, this isn't really it for me. Well, now I'm in France. I can easily pivot and go to one of my other top 3 places, right? So again, looking like the long term of anything you're doing this process, how is this benefiting me? Not just right now, but in the long term, clearing out space, doing research, you know, being in the community you have now and already maybe passing some things along. So lots of fun steps to take.
And you know what? Even when it comes to like clearing out space, sometimes our lists of things, in the same way where it's like, oh, does this thing bring me joy? Do I need this thing? Is it something that I can let go of? There's a lot of that that can also show up in our must-have lists. The things that we think that we need to have that will
Yes, for
make our lives
sure.
complete when you move abroad. And I was just like having a glance over at Stacy's must-have list because sometimes people, as you said, will have like 20 things, 30 things on there where they're like, okay, for me to move, I need to have this, 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 and this. But when you actually get down to the nitty gritty, the actual practical things that you need, that you didn't, that you might have thought, oh, well, like that's just an everyday. Or the thing where you're like, oh, this sounds really like a thing that I might only need like once or twice a year, but it actually would completely change my quality of life. When you really think about it, your list is probably going to be around like 4 to 6 things at the end of the day.
For
So
sure.
Stacey actually shared her must-have list, and I'm going to share this with you guys. Also, all of this, the article that we're talking about right now with our highlights, everything is in the chat, including links to uh, do these live chats happen nightly? So these chats are once a week, every Tuesday. We're switching up the time a little bit this time. We're probably going to be doing like one earlier, one later.
But let
So
us know if this time is like so much better for a bunch of people, then we'll
yeah,
figure. Shayna's like, don't make me wake up more in the morning.
no, no, it's
She's like, I
I
can't
can do
promise that,
I
but
can do 10 a.m. That is okay. Hello, Veronica.
Like,
I can
okay,
do
Holly
10
says she
a.m.
likes this time.
Okay, let us know in
Yeah.
the chat if you like this time.
Yes, yeah. Please
Um,
let us know.
but yeah, like just to give you guys some inspo, if you're like, oh, okay, well, what does it look like to really narrow down a list? Mind you, in Stacy's interview, she talks about the pages and pages of data points that she has already accumulated and that she has been consistently adding to. Um, and then it really boiled down to these things. Stacy's must have list for a country includes academic attainment, so the ability to get a higher education. She was looking at the country's GDP. She wanted to move somewhere that has jobs for internationals and locals. There are a lot of countries where you move there, you can get a degree, but they don't have a job for you afterwards. Or if there are jobs available, they're only available to locals. She's like, nope, I want to be able to get a degree and then immediately start working. So I need to make sure that there's enough turnover, there's enough
Yeah.
movement that's happening there. So that's 2, 3 solid infrastructure. So buildings, roads, highways, public transportation, things like that, right? And a level of safety that would regulate her nervous system. Um, at the end of the day, those were the things that it really came down to.
You need a
Do we
passport
need
for
a
the
specific
rapture.
passport for the rapture?
How many
Stop.
raptures have there supposed to be been? Like, I swear I've lived through 5 of these goddamn raptures.
I know for a
So,
fact that I've lived through at least 3. I remember my first rapture was
my first rapture
in
party.
2020. Um, and then because the turn of the millennia, everybody was like, oh my gosh, it's the end. And I was like, oh my God, I'm like 7. I wasn't 7, but baby.
I was like 20. Okay, you're stretching a little bit.
Yeah, listen, I can't remember. I was a baby. How old was I? Oh no, I was
I
close. I was like 8.
wait, you're okay, not 2020. You're
Oh,
you're
sorry,
your
sorry.
years.
No, 2000. My bad. First one,
Okay.
2000.
I was
First
like,
rapture,
Mama,
2000.
love you. You
That's
look
on me.
great, but let's not lie to our
2000
friends
was my
here.
first rapture. And then my second rapture was the second rapture around, was that 20? That was 2012.
It was okay, yes, it was
Remember the Mayan
2012
calendar?
because I was in Australia and everybody, what my friends were asking me, they're like, have you been raptured yet? Because we were like, what, 14 something hours ahead. So I was
Mhm.
like, we're still chilling. I remember the Australians were going up. They were like free cider at the bars. I think that people were like leaving their clothes outside. So it looked like
Uh-huh.
everybody just got like sucked out. Do you remember that? We were just like leaving clothes like it was like
Yeah.
a person outside. I remember we were just like drinking cider till dawn. And all my friends were like, how is it? Like, has the world ended over there? I was like, the bar hasn't ended, babes.
And you see, I missed out on, no, did I? I think I just started to really enjoy life because I lived very conservative Christian for most of my life. I was raised Pentecostal, so the
South
whole
Park one.
speaking in tongues, running up and down, passing out in the spirit, all of that, right? Um, and then I had some questions and nobody was answering them. And I was like, oh, cool, 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 whatever, because at least, hopefully I won't burn in hell. And then I went to college, and it was in college that 2012 happened. And that was when the partying happened. And I was both partying, but incredibly nervous. So I was turning up nervously because I'm like, if
Turning
this
up
is the end,
nervously.
if this is the end and I'm double fisting margaritas, Lord forgive me. But that was
That's probably gonna
my
go out.
second rapture. Um, And then what was my third rapture? I feel like the third rapture was same Shane. I have lots of religious trauma surrounding the raptures. So yeah, I'm really laughing. Watching the mayhem of this being, I want to say this is my fourth rapture because didn't people say like during COVID,
Yeah.
that was also
When I say that I literally just heard that there's supposed to be another rapture 2 minutes ago, like,
girl.
this is where I'm like, I don't know if I'm like not online enough, which that's never an answer. I'm like, I'm absolutely online enough. Oh, Shayna, where'd you go? She's been raptured. After this whole talk. But I'm like, maybe that news has not made it to
Oh no, go back.
Denmark
There we go.
or Europe or what. But I'm like, On the 20, okay. I have planned. What's today's date? Like this is where I'm like, maybe I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I'm like, I true. There's some stuff that happens where I'm like, Shayna or like these chats, I'm like, oh, there's a rapture Well,
Girl,
I
wait.
guess I won't have
So
wash day then. Like, I don't know. It's all in my country. I'm like, what are we doing?
like an airplane boarding when you're getting raptured. Listen,
Yeah, is it
Stacy.
like the snap is
Um,
like Thanos snap where it's like all in one? Like what are the time? I always laugh about
oh,
these things too because I'm like nobody takes into account time zones in this thing. I'm like, oh, they're gonna be like at 11 p.m. I'm like, is that local time? Is that PST? Like what time is this happening?
so,
Okay.
like, to once again, so sorry for those
Okay.
of you who have also experienced religious trauma. We're going to make this as so, as somebody that grew up in a very like fire, brimstone, the apocalypse, well, like, yes, the apocalypse, and more specifically the rapture, 10 out of 10 happening. So, how it's supposed to work, it's not like in phases necessarily. Like, the rapture is just supposed to be like like everybody kind of gets at the same time. And you're not really supposed to float. It's more of just like a disappearing thing for those of you who know the Left Behind series. The
Oh,
Left Behind series.
now that was going through
Um,
my high school and I said, I'll be on my Harry Potter-ish.
oh, we had Harry Potter book burning sessions. We had entire nights dedicated to having
Me
all of
sneaking
the
in to
kids
grab all the
and
Harry Potters, half burned, and
oh,
like
girl, until they were embers, until the smoke cleared.
can
It was
I light? Yeah,
crazy.
can I light one up while being like how much time do I have? Can I just be like take my last bits or
I would dare say, well, okay, so like technically, the Rapture isn't the Rapture like? Should I watch it?
no, are like people talking about the rap and still budgeting for bill. That's where I'm like, okay, so if y'all are so serious, to some I think what if y'all are so serious, like why aren't you selling your stuff? Why? Oh, because money doesn't matter when you're raptured. And then
Jamaican in the house. Yes.
it's just like what are we doing? What are we doing? You can't take it with you. You can't take it with you.
I strongly recommend watching the Left Behind series tonight, just for shits and gigs.
Oh, of course they have. Is
It's
it a movie or is it a series that they made
Oh,
after
girl,
it?
it's a series. It's a movie series. So there are three movies.
Is it
Okay.
Divergent?
Oh my
Is
God.
it
Oh my God.
religious
Oh my God.
Divergent?
Wait, time out. Time out. Here's what we're going to do. We should have
Jehovah
a
Witness.
watch
My
party.
partner's ex Jehovah. I know.
We should have a watch party for the Rapture, and it should start with the Left Behind series, and then so there's three movies in there. I don't know if we need to do all three. Maybe just do the first one. Interestingly enough, there is mentions on a plane on there. So one, do that. Two, we watch This Is the End, the movie that has like all of it's like a funny retelling of the
Oh,
Rapture
the one
and
oh
end
yes, the
times.
one with Michael Sarah and all of
Yes,
them. Yes, fun.
yes.
We like that
The
one.
one, and honestly, like from the way that I
We
was
like that
taught that
one.
the rapture and like end times are going to happen, it was pretty accurate to what I was taught growing up, but way funnier. Like, I think that should be what we all do today.
No, but genuinely, what date? What's the date?
Oh, it's supposed to be
It's the
today.
23rd. Oh, it's
Yeah.
supposed to be
Yeah.
okay. Someone said the 24th. It's the 23rd. Where I am, it's the 23rd. For some of these beautiful people, it's the 22nd still, right? It's at night. Is my mathing?
Wait. Yes. Yes. It's the 22nd for a lot of these
We have one
beautiful
more day.
people.
Oh, great. I have one more day on this earth. What am I going to do? Nap still. Still nap. Like, what are we talking
Mhm.
about?
So, if this proves anything, guys, we are in the future and we're still here. So,
Still kicking. There's still matcha in the future. We're still okay. We're
hmm
still okay.
yeah.
Now I forgot how
Guess y'all didn't make it.
went into Rapture, but if anybody has actual questions about moving abroad, feel free to pop
Right.
those in too. Of course, these are always open discussions because we get everywhere. But truly, if there are any questions here, also if you think of questions after these beautiful lives, again, find us on Substack. We have the chat threads going. You can always leave comments on the actual articles, and we're sifting through, and we either answer those live. Um, on the computer as we can, or
The ultimate move
we
abroad.
collect them. That's oh my gosh, wait,
You
that's the
guys are
hack.
on
You guys,
fire
we don't even need a
today.
visa. We don't even need a passport. Just get raptured. You're already out. You're already out. I love this for us. But yes, no, if you have actual questions, there's a few ways to leave them. So YouTube, Substack, mostly will both be on there. Yeah, just wanted to get that out because we do have fun and this is fun. And
Yeah.
if there's other questions that come, we are answering those as we can. We are also we're still planning. Again, we're building this community as we're living in it in this way. We're thinking about also opening up maybe like a weekly Q&A chat or live on the Substack paid
Mhm.
also, just to get just some a little bit more like condensed time so people can answer their questions, and we'll just like respond like in that time. So maybe like chalk it up to a day of like ask all your questions. Shane and I will be on standby answering what we can. And then we've also opened up one-to-one move abroad consultations individually. So I'm comfortable doing that for Denmark. I have one coming up this week. I'm so excited. So an hour, and with this beautiful woman who we're gonna chat, like she sent like 30 questions. I was like, yes, let's get into this. So as detailed as you want. So if you are interested in Denmark, I know Shane is doing consultations for Spain and Thailand, where she has all of her experience. You can also book us for those too. So we can like really deep dive and you can ask like all of your questions specific for you. And then we can answer to the best of our abilities, obviously coming from living in those countries for an extended amount of time. So those are also available as well.
And so either next week or the week after, there's going to be an article that is more specific to, because there's been a lot of people asking, but also Lee, I see your question. We will be getting to it.
Yes. Great
There
question.
were a lot of questions about the visa that I'm on for Thailand. So I wrote a very, very in-depth article detailing the destination Thailand visa tips, that like all the things that you need to know about it, the things that I did to get my visa, other ways that people can get their visas, because the way that I got it is just one of a number of ways to come into Thailand. Is there a war on the border with Cambodia affecting life in Thailand? It depends on where you are in Thailand. Where I am at, no, life is continuing on as usual. Also, from talking to some locals here, the tension at the border between Cambodia and Thailand has been an ongoing thing. There have been a couple of like spikes, but it has been an ongoing tension. As unfortunately it is with a lot of borders around the world.
Yeah.
But also, if folks are interested, because I've been telling this lady, the amount of people that I think would be interested in learning more about how, like Danish visas, like how to immigrate to, like there's a destination Thailand visa. I'm happy to also talk about Spain and like these experiences there. But like when it comes to all things Denmark, girl, you might just
And
have to.
and specifically, I was going to say I'm going to do a video or something about it soon. But for any of my people joining from Cali, have y'all heard about the new California Denmark Coalition Green Energy? I've been researching it, and they're opening up new jobs and they're opening up new projects. So peek
You
into
need to
that. I
write
think
about this.
I know I need to write about it because I'm just like I'm still figuring it out. But follow like Denmark in the USA, Denmark in California. Their social media is already telling more about it. But again, that's we talked about it in our visa chat last time. When they open up, when they have these specific partnerships, that usually means they open up jobs in Denmark and sometimes the US, right? Jobs in Denmark that are tied to the government, which means if you get into those jobs, it's usually easier visas. Those typically those types of like high priority jobs also come with more benefits for bringing your family, for example, and things like that. So just look into that. I think, yeah, those are probably the best sites if you search like Denmark and California, or if you just search like California, Denmark, like green partnership, green energy. They're doing a lot of projects, both in California, but then also they're doing some in Boston, around the states that are connected to Denmark because I'll claim Denmark now, are one of the leaders for like green energy, solar energy, wind energy, all of that stuff. So look that up as well. But yes, I'm
Okay.
always happy to talk about Denmark because that's where I obviously have extended knowledge both from being here. And the thing that I feel comfortable too is like if I can't answer anything, I have a load of friends and my partner to like translate documents and do all of this stuff and get even more insight. So I'm like tapped into the community where if I can't answer it on the call, like I will get you the best answer I can. So yes, please let me know. Did you say boss? Yes, they're doing certain projects. If you look at like through the Danish in US site, you'll see the different kind of green energy projects. They have one in Boston, I know, maybe one in Chicago, a few in Silicon Valley. Those are the ones I remember specifically, but I think there's about five or six. Um,
We're going to take
and
it back
yeah.
really quick to
Oh, for
Lee's
Lee, yes.
question.
Yes.
So Lee asked, do you keep an emergency fund, local bank, cash, jewelry, question mark.
International bank
Um,
and jewelry. Yeah.
International bank or an online bank is really how I make it. Not every country is going to allow you, or not to allow, not every country is going to make it easy to get a local bank account. Thailand is one of those, unfortunately. It wasn't always like that, but that is the thing that has changed. But if you have an international bank account or an online bank, I think we talked about this in a separate article. I can't
Yes.
remember which one, but some prime
Yeah.
examples are Revolut and Wise. Most countries will accept one, if not both.
Mhm.
But having an emergency fund, having a form of savings. Now, an emergency fund, I think internationally is going to look different than an emergency fund uh, in the United States. Like an emergency fund in the United States could be like $10,000, $20,000 because one trip to the ER could just wipe that entire thing out. That's not, by and large, that's not going to be the
Yeah.
price of healthcare or any kind of medical emergency abroad.
That's a great so just to quickly answer, the cost for the call, I believe both Shayna and mine are at 88 for the hour call for those like intense one-to-ones. But yes, I said this too, and I will be completely transparent. I did not come with a huge safety net. I came still with student loans. I came with the things I found my money, and again, I'm in a country that pays higher taxes, all of that stuff, right? I found my money stretches a lot here, and especially becoming a mother, I was like, "Oh, I need to have a college fund," and I was like, "Yeah, that would be helpful, but if my daughter goes to school anywhere in Europe, that's free." Okay. So now the fund's not to make sure she can go to any school. The fund is, oh, I want to build a fund for her so that she can travel abroad, so that she can do a gap year, so that she, if she wants to travel outside of Europe to do school, which would be silly. But but obviously, if she wants to, no, I would absolutely support that. So you're also know what your emergency fund is. Now, when you're moving abroad, absolutely have stock some money up because that could just be moving expenses. That's getting
Mhm.
settled. That's all this stuff, which a good point to what we talked about before is if you save up a lot of money or a good amount of money, if you're selling things and stuff, that is another reason to not bring as much shit with you and get more things there. For example, I was like number one thing on my list, biggest mistake was bringing electronics because mama, how many converters did I need? How many little adapters did you need? Beauty products, as much electronics that you can just buy in the country you're at for the plugs and all of that. And the voltage will blow your shit up alone. So it's
We
like
will be, yeah.
we'll
Mhm. Nope,
be
nope.
diving in there. So think long again, this is the think long term of like carry and remember also y'all have to carry this through the airport and you're going to have to pay for this. So when you remember that, you're like, wait a second, do I need to bring this? And my trick is like bring what you need, like basics, and it's going to be hard, but bring what you need and even reserve a box. Like I kept a box at my parents, I kept a box at my best friend's was like, I might want to ship a few of these things later. I might want to grab this later. But after a year, I forgot I had that box there. And I like went home for a little bit and I grabbed a few things and left. But like have it there, have the like maybe box, and you'll find you miss a lot less. Or you can replace it by getting stuff locally, which again is going to get you into the community, is going to get you comfortable with going to the stores, and is also going to give you the tools that actually work there. So you're not bringing things that that might not even be needed. Something we it's a good just like therapy term of like you can't expect you from other people. So I'll give you that one free coaching today. But my sister and me were using it when my dad would like come to Denmark and he's like, oh, the trains are this and the this or the and my sister was like, you can't expect America from other countries, which is so for good or for bad. So this is what Shayna was talking about is like you might think you need certain things and you're going to bring all of these things and the new country, the new place you settle, you're like, oh, I actually need less of this, or I don't need this at all, right? So give yourself the time to like feel into it a little bit. Um, Release those things. So wrap up emergency funds. Already, I think anybody already open your fund and put like a little bit of money in there. A lot of those, I think Revolut too has like automatic savings or have your own rules of like, okay, I'm going to take this and just build that fund there. If you're in certain countries, you can also have like a savings account so you can earn interest off of those accounts too. So I would just start that today. That's your one homework you can start today. Open up a
Mhm.
Revolut or a Wise or Charles Schwab or whatever. Again, investments, you can keep, put money into the investments. And if you guys are all into that, like do that. I still have some in my Charles Schwab investments. I personally don't have any other American accounts for legal reasons. No, but also just because like I was barely using them, and again, that was another way that I was able to pay like the lower taxes. Because I was like, no, I literally have like no account in the States, so y'all can't find me. Um,
Yeah. Also, we are at
is
the
it therapy?
hour. I feel like we should
Oh
have we,
yeah.
we should have like closing remarks.
Oh yes. Okay.
What are some closing remarks? Um,
That's a closing remark, meaning I'm
Gwen, you are
closing it
on
from the chat.
Okay, okay. Okay. If anybody has like a final question on here before we
Yeah.
here we go.
Closing thing. Check us out on Substack. Ask your questions
Okay.
there. Thank you for being
No,
part of this community. Truly,
absolutely.
it's growing and it's beautiful to see. And it's just exciting that we can, hopefully give resources and inspiration and empowerment to move abroad, to travel abroad, to make a new home because it is possible. It's going to be a little bit challenging and a lot challenging, but it's possible. And your one homework for today is throw one thing away. Your two homeworks for today, throw one thing away. And if you have, people in your household, ask them to do things. Just throw one thing away or recycle or donate one thing a day, put it in a pile. And the other thing is to find an international or online bank. And
Two
Shayna
things.
has, yeah.
Yes, no, those are the two things. And for a lot of these online banks, online international banks, you can convert your money on the platform.
Yes,
You can
super
convert it
easy.
on there, and they let you know for Wise and for Revolut. They track when the your currency is doing better to convert and when it's doing worse to convert.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the U.S. dollar is on the decline,
Which is why we
so
2 weeks ago we were like, start moving your money into euros, into
into whatever
kroner,
currency
even.
you are likely thinking of making that move over to. I just converted all of my cash, all of my USD to the cash that I have here. I converted all of it to bot like a week ago because I'm like, I'm seeing this pattern and I want to be able to get the most for my money instead of less for my money. And you could be able to track a lot of these things on these online international banks. So that is your
Yeah,
homework. Throw away one thing,
we gave
sign
like
up
four
for an
things, but
international bank. No, it was just two. Throw away one thing and then you
correct.
sign up for an international bank,
Yeah,
right?
actually, Igor, I will say take out euro because as soon as I said that in my mouth, I was like, actually, no. Go into where you're hoping to live, but again, do your research because things are changing. So I'm not even gonna throw out stuff like where you're planning to live, number one, and then if not, look at the most competitive right now and
Right, just right.
move it there.
Sorry. Yeah.
Uh,
Stop.
oh my gosh.
You guys are
Okay,
so funny.
I love that.
Okay, and then very last thing, for Joanna, just want to wrap this up. I am a journalist, and Candace,
Yeah,
you have a bunch of hats actually. She does marketing. She's a
tired.
self-trust coach. She's tired.
I'm tired. No, I'm writer, self-trust coach, marketing, co-founder of Black Babes Abroad,
Mm,
Viber. Uh,
yes. Yes. But yeah, on my end, I do the travel. I do the hospitality journalism. I talk about the politics of the hospitality industry. Okay, that is it. That is
I
it
love
for
the
today.
night lives / early morning lives. I don't know, Shada. We might have to do this because
Yeah,
the gals are
the
funny.
you guys have truly made us teehee.
Oh,
Okay, we
chronic
are
fart. Shayna has stories for you. We'll save that for the next live. We'll save that for the next live.
especially in Thailand. Okay, okay, we're gonna make a note about passport bros. Ah, we might have to have a whole other thing about passport bros because navigating them abroad is there. It's what, and it changes from country to. We're gonna go. We're gonna
We're gonna
go.
go.
You
Okay.
got it. One thing.
We love
Throw a thing
y'all.
away. Find an international bank. You're great. Okay, see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.